Hey, what's happening, everyone? Today I'm going to show a preview of order for an SGC or SGC group submission order that I'll have with Nash Cards. Two of the economy PSA 5 card submission orders, as well as I think it's around 80 cards to CSG bulk. So most of the cards here are actually vintage baseball with a decent mix of some oddball stuff too as well. So I think that's pretty cool. And I normally don't like to do preview videos, but I think the stuff I have is super cool and definitely worthy of a preview video. Normally I only like to show off the already encapsulated items. So, well, without further ado, I'm going to start off with my order with Nash Cards. So I have about 36 SGC cards here. So, yeah, here we go. So starting off, most people will probably have absolutely no idea what this is, but these are actually like 1975 Dynamite Scholastic cards, and these are on the back. This magazine actually had a few 1975 Tops panels that were inserted in them, and these cards were on the back of the card, and you can actually hand cut them. So SGC did say that they will authenticate these, but they won't assign a grade to them. So I'm pretty sure the population report is 0 on all of this stuff, so, or at least these cards. But I thought they were pretty, I guess, funny, so I just figured why not. So I don't really know the theme and meaning behind any of these, besides the fact that they might just be like childish and the audience would just be for kids. So, but it does have the cool 74 design, and like this one, I have no idea if this is referencing a TV show or anything of that nature, but this is just kind of like what the back looks like, and yeah, they're kind of funny. So Clark Bar, I don't know who this is either, but they're just kind of cool. So I figured I might as well just give those a chance, especially since the pop is 0 on those. I have a 71 Bob Gibson. I think I'm hoping for a 6 on this, or maybe a 5.5 was my thinking. Really nice. Obviously, just the typical the standard what you would call the black chipping as well. I'm trying to fix the glare, but it's maybe if I go like this, it'll be better. Barry Bonds. This is actually a pretty rare card here. This is the X Factor from Bowman Chrome, but the only problem with this is this was in a screw down case, so there's a little bit of surface issue here, and I don't know if it was if it counts as paper loss necessarily. So if it does, that'll really ding this card, but it does have a little bit of an issue with the back. Yeah, let's see if you can see it here. The back left corner has a little bit of a lip that's kind of been folded back over, so I'm hoping for an 8, A5 on that. Mickey Mantle, this is a 68 game Tops game. I think it has like a wrinkle through the center, or through one of the portion of the card, so I think I'm expecting a 4 on that. Clemente, this is Decal Edge. This set's really tough. Chipping pretty much everywhere you look. Yeah, there's some chipping right there. I think I'm hoping for a 5.5 on that. This is one of the ugliest cards I've seen in a long time. This looks, this is all cartoonish. This is from 48 Leaf, so this isn't a real photo, but expecting a 1.5 on this one. This one's pretty beat up, so there's creasing on the front and the back. Back's really off-centered. Your standard terrible corners there. Lots of paper loss, so I'm hoping for 1.5 on that. I have a few 1909 Piedmonts. None of these are just pretty much commons, but I'm kind of hoping for a 1.5 to 2 range for each one. The standard creasing on both, except for I think this one I was hoping for a 2.5. Didn't notice any creasing. I think this might be a wrinkle. I don't know if it goes through the back, so not expecting too high of grades on those, but I figured they look good in the SGC slabs anyway, so definitely going to try it out on that one. We have a 73 Maze. I'm hoping for a 5. It's pretty tough with I'm trying to get a better, zooming in on these cards without the, let's see if I can zoom in on the camera. I can. Okay. Let's keep it like that. I think this is better for viewership, so you can kind of see what I'm saying about the grades here. But yeah, no, standard soft corners. The black on the back is definitely always tough. So it's a good indication to I actually start with the back on the 73s to grade them. This is a Missing Stars error variation from 2021. heritage. So as you can see, it says missing stars on it. So there's supposed to be stars from the 72 set in the top next to the Padres logo. So I'm thinking a 9 on this. It has a little bit of a edge wear, and the corners aren't perfect. So hoping for an SGC 9 on that. 2 hand cut 76 Hostess Hank Aaron's. So as you can see, there's a little bit of staining, but none of these have any creases or anything. It's just the stains, and I'm not sure exactly how they're going to treat it, so I'm hoping for a 7 on each of them. This one I think had the smallest surface issue over here. I don't know if it would count as a wrinkle, but obviously has the stains, so it's very hard to tell with the Hostess, especially with the staining, because there's not a lot of people that have actually graded, at least that I've seen of Hostess stained cards, so I've never really seen any, you know, with the exception of like 4s and 5s, but these are all sharp, so I don't know how they're going to ding that or not. But these probably, these are very unique cards here. These are actually Keds. They're called Ked cards, and they were on the top of kids shoe, like this kids shoe brand from the early 71. So these were hand cut cards from the top, and actually I got 2 panels and I cut them up. So first one here is Willis Reed. There's like 2 different sizes, but they are the same set. So this is the same size here, but as you can see, this is I'm not sure the difference between the two in terms of how they're gonna differentiate them, because online it's pretty tough to tell the difference. So we'll see on that. But low grades on these, obvious creases front and back. So you know, you're expecting the 2 to 2.5 would be a good grade on this. So yeah, I think this one bleeds to the back too. But you know, I thought they were unique and they're very low pop. I know I checked PSA's pop report, and I don't think there's more than 20 or 30 of the bench graded, and bench is the best one at all of these. So Bubba Smith and Stan Smith, I think this is technically his rookie. I'm not big into tennis, but I think this one has like a, these were actually, I only had 1 uncut panel I cut, but this one was around a rubber band, so that definitely makes it worse. But hoping for a 4.5 here. I think there's like a surface issue, definitely with like a wrinkle along the lines, like pretty small, only like a centimeter long, but they'll definitely do it. Bob Waterfield, this is his rookie from 48. I'm hoping for a 1.5 on this, 1.5 to 2, probably a 1.5, definitely with the heavy creasing, and you know the corners are significantly missing paper there. Ed Tutel Jones, this one's really sharp, you know, a little bit of edge issues there. I think this corner has a tiny bit of paper loss there, but very small. Hoping for an 8 here. I mean, everything else is really sharp. There's a little bit of a stain from factory oil. Centering top to bottom is the main concern. I don't know. I'd probably say that's, I mean, you would judge it from the bottom of the Cowboys, the black border from the football downward to the pink to the top. So, you know, probably 65-35 on a good day. I don't know. Or not 65, probably even 70-30. We have 2 of these actually. These are really cool cards, I think. This is from 73 Tops. The first card in the set, they had the home run leaders all time. And I think Pujols would, if you know, now today the leaderboards are definitely different. I think, you know, Ruth is in the bottom right. And then I think you have, you obviously have Bonds at the top. So, but if you were to, you know, take away all the steroid users, I think Pujols would actually replace Willie Mays in the bottom right. So I think I was expecting a 5 on both. Maybe one of them might be a 4.5. So your standard 73 white, or the, you know, your black borders. This one is miscut in the back. There's no border, so we'll see. Probably 4.5 on one and a 5 on another, and I'd be happy with that. Right off the bat, I mean, who the heck is this guy? I don't really know. But it's an error variation. So the ERA in the back of 75 is normally supposed to be 2.73. It was corrected because it was this is the error that wasn't. So like this one definitely has a lower pop. I checked PSA pop reports, and I think there was about 4 times the number of corrected than the error variation. So I don't know, 8.5 to 9. That was kind of my goal. There's some like printing dots from the Kellogg's cards, but those Kellogg's cards are pretty brutal, especially if you You know, I got a box of cards recently locally about a bunch of Kellogg stuff, and they were all really, really curled, and that happens with temperature changes, and I tried pretty much everything to try and curl them back, and it's just the slightest decrease in temperature, especially with the cold weather at night up in San Francisco where I live. It's really tough. They crack really, really easily, so it's very unfortunate with those. But this one I got, it was already flattened, so no worries on the cracking on that. But this is a Ruth 72 all-time grades Kellogg's. So only issue here, you have the corner that's not perfect there for sure. A lot of these have these, and I've seen them in SGC cases with 8s, but I don't know if you can tell, but there's like kind of a wrinkle that runs on the back of these. And I've noticed that a lot with Kellogg's cards, and I've actually received PSA 9s with those, but this was, 2-3 years ago, so I don't know if that has any weight anymore, but so I'm wondering if they're going to treat that the same, and if that's something that they expect and it's just part of the card, then I'm hoping for an 8 on that. A few more Hostess here. Johnny Bench, and yeah, this one's for the PC. I don't think this is going to get a very high grade. I think it's got, there's definitely like a indent kind of like mark on the back. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it on the camera, but 7 and hopefully an A5 on the bench. This is pretty cool. This is from 99 Chrome. This is his rookie reprint. I don't know, I feel like it'd look good in an SGC holder, especially since it's like an iconic card, but obviously a reprint. And this is similar to the Kellogg stuff, but this is from an insert from UD Vintage 03. I think this is a pretty tough insert. I think this is like 40, 35 raw, or somebody at Comps, he was asking like $60 or something. I don't think it'll be anything close to that, but oops. Oh yeah, I have the, that reminds me, I have this, I recently got this. I'm big into the Venezuelan tops from the 60s. I'm trying to get all the Yaz cards, and obviously they do have one for his 1960 rookie, and with a pop of less than 25 on PSA's registry, you can only imagine what those go for, so definitely won't get that anytime soon, but I'll still collect the other ones. Babe Ruth, hoping for a 7.5 here. That's not a wrinkle down there, that's just a printing mark. There's another one right below the E and the time. Main issue here, I would have thought this would have been a little bit more towards 8 to 8.5, but the corner isn't perfect here. I don't know if you can see it, but on the back, you won't be able to see it, but it's like kind of, I couldn't tell if it's I'm not sure you'll be able to catch that. It's not really a ding, but it's got like oil on the corner. And I've actually noticed a few of them like that before, but we'll see how they grade that. 73 Hank Aaron, obviously the centering is really far off, probably 75-25, so I am really hoping for a 7 because it is really sharp. As you can see, the black on the back looks really good, but I would not be surprised if they knocked it to a 6.5, but I mean, there's no printing issues on the front, so it really looks well. It really looks good too. Too bad it wasn't, perfectly centered. That would have been a big winner. A few more panels. This is a weird one to do, but I think it's a 9. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it, so I figured I might as well try it. I don't think anyone's ever, not really great big names on this, but only issue here was a little bit of a printing dots in the back, but I don't think they'll take it away from a 9, but 76 Hostess. This is a panel, cards number 1 and 2 in the set. Yeah, pretty significant with the printing defects on the back, and I think there might have been another like pretty big scratch that almost had like an indentation like scratch, so I think it might get a 6.5, but the fact that I can grade this for $23 a card and it actually meets the size requirements just barely, it seems worth it to me. So I'm gonna try that. Now I got lucky. I think I tried 8 times for the economy submission for PSA, and I got 2 of them. So I got the allocations, the 5 card allocations for the $50 card. 90 business day turnaround time. So I'm gonna submit these ones. I wonder if I'm missing one in here. You know what? I think I actually decided to send the Hank Aaron to PSA. Yeah, that's what I did. This one is going to PSA. Sorry about that. So yeah, no, I'm hoping for a 7, PSA 7 on this. And same here with this one. This is the nicest one I own. Unfortunately, the centering is not great. Top to bottom significantly off. Printing dots, but the back, it's in terms of the chipping on the black border looked really, really good. Worst being this top right, but everything looked really good, so I figured Outside shot at a 7, maybe a 6.5. If they're, you know, not very nice, they'll give me a 6. But anyways, this one, this is a, I'm not sure how rare this one is, but it does go for decent money. I think this is gonna be a 2. Centering is really nice. Obviously the crease. So I think a 2 is fair on this. 1.5 if they're not having a great day. Pete Maravich rookie. Issue here, there's like the crease that runs through there. It might be actually just a, I don't think it runs through the back, so it might be just a wrinkle, but I'm thinking 3.5 on this. Corners are pretty soft. Centering is pretty off, so hoping for 3.5. This is kind of an oddball one. Milk Duds Complete Box of Roy White. So everything looks amazing about this, but the only thing that doesn't look great is it's you can't see with your eye. That's actually not part of the card. That's part of the sleeve. But there's like the smallest, I guess, change of color that looks like almost like a wrinkle, but it isn't. And I don't know how they're going to treat that, because I mean, this thing looks awesome, but you know, if they catch it, which runs across his head, and I only was able to catch it by feeling it. So if they do, probably a 6, and I probably break even. If not, I'm hoping for an 8, 8 to 8.5, and that will definitely do well. So this is a little bit of a makeshift card saver I made here, but they actually don't make any, at least I don't know of any card savers that are long enough to fit these panels. So I actually cut up, this right here is a portion of the large oversized card savers, and I kind of just stuck it on top to fit it all. But I don't think any of these ones I decided to cut, or not cut, but grade for the panels are going to grade above a 7. Each and every one has some sort of issue, whether it be a wrinkle or significant staining on the back, or yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong here, especially with you know, these being on the back of Hostess, you know, Twinkies and Ding Dongs and wherever it be. Yeah, so that's not on the card, that's on the sleeve I had. I ran out of the sleeves for this, but yeah, so staining here. I think that Nolan Ryan had, yeah, you can see that. It's almost like a half circle, a little bump. So it doesn't run through the back, but it does run through the front, probably equal to a wrinkle. I'm hoping for a 6 on that. Here's another Nolan Ryan from 76. I think it's the same situation. There might be like some sort of wrinkle somewhere, but that's the reason why I assumed a 6 on that. I think this one might do the same thing. I think every single one of these had like one of those type of issues, so hoping for a 5 to 6 on all of these. You know, some staining on the Hank Aaron, but they're really tough to get in, without the staining. So definitely want to take definitely want to submit those, even though they're not going to get perfect grades. I know 9s of those cards, those panels would go for, you know, $300, $400, $500. So I mean, in 10s would be 4 figures for some of them. So I figured I could do okay with the hoping, you know, $100 panels for the $50 grading fee. That's kind of my hope here. So now I have a CSG. I'm doing like 80. I know some people are like, why the heck are you grading with CSG, especially with vintage? I don't know. I feel like vintage cards are, you know, still a staple of the hobby, and you know, just because I believe in collectors buying the card, not the holder. I know sometimes CSG, the holders are definitely not for everyone, but with, you know, popularity of vintage cards, and especially since these are pretty much, you know, $30, $40, $50, $60 range, I feel like it's a good option for an affordable card at, you know, a decent price. And I figured that would be a good idea. But I know that CSG is super tough on centering. They're pretty kind of egregious, actually. I think their centering requirements, they don't budge on vintage. I know PSA, you can get PSA 10s on 60-40 centering. SGC, much harder with centering, but that CSG is pretty much just kind of a little bit too tough with centering. But on the flip side, with their corners, I felt through my experience, the corners that they grade they're very, very lenient on corners, and almost a little bit too much in my opinion. So if you ever see a I don't know, a CSG 7 with perfect centering, a vintage card, odds are the corners are probably more like the 5 range. So, you know, that would turn into a 5 at PSA, but their centering requirements are kind of a little bit too much, but we'll just see. We'll see how we do. I I know that a card that can be 60-40 centering, I think they give it 8 subgrade, which, you know, a PSA 10 you can get see at 60-40. So I don't know, we'll see. Steve Garvey rookie, I think that will get a 4. Ted Simmons rookie from 72, I think the same grade here, 4 hopefully. Perfectly centered. So I mean, maybe off a little bit top to bottom and left to right, but that's, you know, really good for the 71 set. Elvin Hayes, I mean, a little off centered. I think a 6.5 was my grade on that. This one, I think I had this as a 2.5, maybe a 3. Yeah, there's significant edge chipping, corner ding right there, like significant. Yeah, lots of chipping on the back. So that was my assessment. I think most of the 73s I had the 6 to 7 range. This one I think we will get a 5. This is a perfect card I would send to CSG. I mean, centering is really, really strong, so we'll get a high grade there, but they're much easier on the corner, so hopefully I can get a 5 with this. I mean, this card's kind of, you know, it's really beat up on the back, so not the best hopes with that. But this one, this is probably the card I shouldn't submit to CSG, but, you know, I think it's like a $40 card and a 6, so they will definitely hammer me on the centering. I mean, it's almost, you know, 90-10, so I wouldn't blame them for that, but we'll see. Thurman Munson, the focus is definitely really off on the card, so that will definitely drop it down. I'm hoping for a 6 on that. Here's a bench. I love this picture, so I think a 6 is fair. Hoping for a 7 on this Seaver. Looks pretty good with the back. I'm hoping for a 6.5 on this Yastrzemski, so kind of the same story with all of these. These two are actually really, really sharp. So these two Pete Roses on the back, you know, very, very minimal chipping for the set. The only problem is, yeah, the print quality is definitely diminishing at the top. I don't know if I don't think it was altered by an eraser or anything. I just think it was part of the printing process. So, you know, hopefully for a 7 on this too. So the black is definitely, the black border and a lot of the printing is definitely not printed well. So that'll definitely affect the grade. Cy Young, hoping for a 7.5 on this. And 7.5 for this one, hopefully as well. Nicely centered on that Ty Cobb. Hoping for a 5 on the 72 Ted Williams manager card. So only reason why it would pull me down farther is the centering. I know it's probably, what, 85-15, maybe even 80-20. So Seaver, this one's really, really sharp. Looks good, just off-centered. I think a 6 to 6.5 on that. I like this one. Hopefully these, I'm not sure if Joe Torre's in the Hall of Fame, but he eventually probably will. So 3 Hall of Famers, 1 card. I think I had that as a 6 to 7 range. I wanted this one to get a 7. This is a second-year Simmons, but it's the centering that will drop it down. Dave Concepcion, the centering looks really good on this one. You know, probably 60-40 at the worst on it. But another theme with CSG is they do grade the back centering tough. I know that people, you know, thought that SGC and CSG both grade the front and back the same, and that's not true. They definitely consider more weight on the front, but I do think that CSG has a stronger weight towards the back than SGC, and PSA, you know, 90-10 on the back for a PSA 10 is acceptable. So obviously they don't really care about the back centering. Yeah, like this would be a 90-10, or not 90-10, it's probably 85-25 or 85-15, 80-20 on the back. So hoping for a 7 on that Tony. We'll see. Another 7 hopefully for the Burt, and then 7 with this one as well. So it's getting pretty long, 24 minutes in, so I'll try and speed things up. But, you know, this is upper mid-grade for most of this stuff. You know, 7s, hopefully. Yeah, that corner's soft. I think I had a 6 on that. And then Steve Garvey as well. Larry Boa, definitely did not expect a 7 on or a 6, not even close, probably like 5 on this. This one was really sharp. I don't know how, there's an eyelash on that. I don't know how anyone would think of this one as well, but I mean, the chipping is very minimal except for the bottom right. Centering is really strong. I know that Ken Harrelson's just a common, but I thought it had a chance at like an 8.5, but the way that my luck's been, it'll probably come back like a 7 or something, and then I'd be pretty sad. But 68 Tony, this one's really sharp. Centering left to right is really good. Top to bottom really good. So corners are not perfect, but they are really, really good. I'm hoping for an 8, which would be pretty good for that grade. I don't think that card goes for much in an 8. I think you can get it for like $30, which I think is a pretty good deal for a Hall of Famer. But John Brody, rookie, I think a 7. Yastrzemski, hopefully a 7 on that. This is too bad the centering is off top to bottom because this thing is just immaculate with the corners. So, oh well. Hoping for an 8 on that one. Lou Brock, this one's also centered really nicely. And then Dwight Evans. Hoping for a 9.5 on this one. Centering is pretty much 50-50 all the way around, maybe 55-45 in left to right. It does have the edge. It's not perfectly cut, so it does have those extra hairs on it, but I don't know. We'll see. I checked. I actually checked CSG's pop report, and I think this is really interesting. They've graded a little over 25 to 3, or I think around 3,000 cards in the 75 and 76 set combined, and there is not a single graded 9.5 or above. So obviously their 9.5 is a gem mint, so I think it's important to, if you were to say compare that to PSA, that's technically their gem mint is supposed to be a PSA 10 gem mint. Obviously they're not the same because they have different grading standards, but I think that it's a pretty small sample size, but I think it reveals the fact that they are really tough with centering. So, that's another theme too with some of these is I might just regret doing it all together just because of the centering requirements for vintage, but we'll see. This one, lots of printing errors on this. Stains, no creases. I'm hoping a 6. And in most of these 76 hostesses, I'm hoping, 8 to 9 range. None of these have any significant defects aside from that hand Karen I showed. These are all hand cut by me. This one actually does have significant staining. But Yaz is for the PC, and Seaver also has some staining. I'm hoping a 7.5 on that. But yeah, this one the printed quality is pretty different. This one's obviously darker. Not sure how they'll treat that. Hopefully it's not like yellowing because of either light or sun. I wouldn't be sun damage because I think sun damage would have made it lighter in color. So we'll see what that does with the grade, because we have the same thing with the Carews and the Andy Messersmith. So yeah, this one I'm hoping for a 9.5. That's the only reason why I submitted it. So Johnny Bench, yeah, it's got a roller marks there, so 8.5 hopefully. Dave Winfield, this one also looks pretty nice. And then Jim Rice, I think the color is off on this too. So that's for the PC though, because I'm a Red Sox fan. So wow, it's I'll hopefully cut it off at 30 minutes. So thanks for everyone for staying in so long. But yeah, no, I think grading, I don't know. I think it's definitely changed significantly. I've been grading since 2016. So I started out with PSA bulk orders at 10 business days, $6 a card, and I definitely have seen them get tougher, and I think it has to do with hiring new people, and increasing output normally decreases quality. So the consistency is the main thing that bothers me the most. So I think a lot of people don't talk about the prices of PSA cards that were graded, especially vintage a while ago. How many of those, if they were cracked out completely, would get the same grade today? I'd bet that most of them wouldn't. So at least due to the inconsistency that I've been seeing. So that honestly should be factored in the price, but I just think most people don't know or care about it, just because you would have to be grading yourself in order for you to know that, or actively looking and researching. So I'm definitely not saying I know the most. I definitely don't. I haven't been grading for that long. It's only been 5 or 6 years. So I know other people have been doing it, since the early 2000s. So even late 90s. So that those people definitely have more credibility than I do. But just my opinion. These I think are pretty cool. These are like, I'm not sure, WorldCom. I have absolutely no idea what this is. This is before my time. So these are like credit cards, and I'm sure WorldCom was like some sort of website that they had during the tech bubble that was a promotional thing. But they do grade these, or at least PSA does. So hopefully they will grade it as well. Tom Brady Tops Unique. This was in one of those like brown wooden like, you know, holders that has like a top loader in it. So I had this in my room and I was like, oh, might as well grade the Brady because now it's actually, you know, has value. But before, a base Brady from 09 would just be kind of worthless. Glenn Hubbard, this is like that snake card that it's kind of, you know, it's a common, but it's a cool card. So I know it's pretty expensive to get. I think this is hopefully a 9. This is one of the cards I would definitely want to send to CSG because the corners are not perfect. So they're probably like 8 quality corners. But, you know, in my experience, CSG has been very, very easy on corners. So, and very tough on centering. And when you have a 50-50 centered card and not perfect corners, you're going to maximize your grade with CSG. So, and then finally the Flare Hawk gloves. Not the wrong year. I know this one doesn't have that much value in a 9, but that's what I was hoping. So, I do have plenty of new orders coming back. I just had a 288 CSG order or card. It's mostly 75 mini and 76 tops. It was a lot earlier than expected. I think it was like 90 business days. So I don't know if they prioritize mine because, you know, the vintage stuff in their pop report is almost non-existent. So I don't know. That might just be speculating, but they finished a lot faster than I expected. So grades will hopefully pop in soon. So I'll definitely have that video up whenever I get it, and I'll explain the grades, and hopefully I didn't get destroyed by their centering requirements. So because they were all probably really, really sharp on the corners, but it's just, you know, if they're gonna give me 8 subgrades for 60-40 centering, then I probably didn't do well. So we'll see. Anyways, that's everything. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here this long. It's been 32 minutes. It's way too long for a video, but yeah, hopefully I got some more videos soon, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.